As my grandfather and also my father have always told me, and it keeps echoing in my mind, look after your cows and your land and they'll both look after you. So really our system is all about nurturing those calves when they're first born and giving them the best possible start, and then bringing them on with the best possible care and attention all the way through to 2 years old when they calve, and then looking after them and feeding them correctly from our land for the duration of their milking lives, because without looking after them and feeding them correctly you don't get back what you need. And the land's the same, you've got to feed the land. That's why an awful lot of people now have probably gone to straight arable farming, and we like the mixed old-fashioned style where you feed the land the muck and you hopefully look after the land and reap the returns over the years. It's not a quick gain, it's a long-term business, and I think that old saying of my grandfather still rings in my mind, that that's the most important thing, to look after what looks after you. Now thankfully people are a little more discerning about where their food comes from and the flavour of their food, and that tradition that was so renowned in this area has thankfully been kept alive. We still, my wife and I and my mother and father, still produce cheese on the same Cheshire plain in the same old-fashioned way that it was those years ago, and always keep my grandmother and my grandfather in mind when thinking of making changes. The farming in this area has changed very little. We still graze the pastures, the salty pastures, which were meant to give us that flavour for the Cheshire cheese. We have a very simple system of calving all year round, and the cows, the milk is kept consistent for the production of the cheese. So all the forage comes from this land and all the muck is put back into this land, as the land is very important.
So the cheese, the Cheshire cheese and the double Gloucester, come down here when they've had the night in the press room. I like to see that here by the rind that you've got not much discoloration. It's a pretty consistent colour all the way up. You can see we've got some crumbs here. If I turn it over, we like to look at the back of the iron. This gives an indication of the fat content. We want what's called a wisp of fat on the back of the cheese iron, which yeah, I'd say this one's ticking the boxes for me. So I'm going to take a little bit. And we're looking for those zesty, minerally, lactic flavours that are typical of a Cheshire at about 12 weeks old, and that's really ticking the boxes. That's a great cheese that is actually going out to customers at the moment. We obviously take such pride in our cheese right from the start, right from the grass that we grow, and when it leaves our storeroom, we really like to think that it's going on to buyers, wholesalers that will equally look after it and cherish it until it hits their shops and the consumer gets a product that we're really proud of being Appleby's Cheshire and double Gloucester and smoked, and we like to pride ourselves in making a product that people will want to buy time and time again.